Do you intend to stay with him?
I don't know, indefinitely, or I don't know.
You're just going to obtain residency up there and just stay there?
More or less, but then, I don't know, I don't seem to like get along well with people apparently for very long periods of time, so I was just going to come back home.
This is the story of Brandon Wright. In August 1994, Brandon, who bizarrely was living in the bushes and the forest, came across a trailer and went to look for food. A man, known as Mr. Bushy, entered, whom trailer it was, and a scuffle ensued. Brandon hit Mr. Bushy on the head with a hammer, but Mr. Bushy fought back, and this is where Brandon killed Mr. Bushy, stabbing him 53 times. Brandon stole Mr. Bushy's car and then left. What was to follow is an incredible story. If you look at Brandon's psychological profile, well, he was in and out of jail and on the run from police. At the time, he sold Mr. Bushy's tools in the car he stole to buy heroin. However, Brandon's life took a twist as he went into college and he started a family. Incredibly, on September 20th, 2016, he was sentenced to 17 years after confessing to this killing, nearly 22 years after the event took place. Now, I will analyze his behavior in this interrogation, so if you do end up liking this video, please subscribe.
With the hammer, it didn't faze him at all. It probably just made him mad.
Probably.
So what happened right after you hit him with the hammer?
He kind of charged toward me, and I saw the knife on the ground, and I grabbed it really quick, and he was like tackling me, and I pulled out the knife as quick as I could out of the case and everything.
Boys, a lot of you have been asking.
So you said it was a Leatherman tool.
Yeah.
So are you sure of that, or you just think that's what it was?
It was either a Leatherman or a Gerber multi-purpose tool.
It was definitely a multi-purpose tool. It wasn't a folding knife,
No.
but it was in a case.
Yeah.
So you actually had to take the case open, remove the device, and then open it up.
Yeah.
So a Leatherman tool is you have to open it up and then take a blade out of the handle itself. So you had to manipulate quite a bit. Do you remember doing that?
I do.
Okay.
I actually was able to reach down while he's like pushing at me. I opened it up. Believe it or not, I opened the whole thing up and started stabbing him. And that's exactly what happened.
Was it like a bear hug?
Yeah.
Okay, so he had you wrapped up kind of in his arms then?
Kind of. Not all the way though. Like he started pushing towards me, and then.
But you were able to open it up.
I was.
And you had mentioned that you stabbed him a bunch of times in the stomach. Was that because you couldn't get higher? Because he had you in a bear hug, or do you remember? Because there was a lot of stab wounds in his stomach.
Probably because I was like down, like when I went down to pick it up, he's a big guy, and I just started stabbing the first place that I could see, and he kept coming, kept coming, kept coming, kept coming. It didn't like seem to like it wasn't doing much to him. I mean, obviously it was killing him, but he was a strong man, so yeah.
At what point did he fall down, or did you push him down?
I really don't know. I don't know.
Well, at some point you must have been on top of him.
Guilt, regret, remorsefulness. These are words that I would use to describe Brandon's body language. He is in repentance mode. His arms are open, his legs are open. He is slightly slouched, but you could argue this is out of embarrassment. For years, distress and grief with the weight of this murder on his shoulders, going through compunction, misgiving, culpability, liability, anguish, impenitence. Brandon is finally coming clean, and he will be better for it in the future. In fact, even the family of Mr. Bushy requested a lighter sentence for Brandon. Such was the repentant impression he gave them.
Maybe at the end, I don't know, I don't think, oh yeah, and then I covered him with some blankets and stuff. Like at one point, he stopped pushing towards me, and then I stabbed him maybe 5 more times, and he said, "You're killing me."
Was he still standing then?
Yeah, and then he was falling, And it's hard to remember, like the exact details, but it just like.
How long did he live then after you stopped stabbing him?
I don't know, maybe. Oh man, maybe 5 minutes or so, maybe.
Quite a while then.
Yeah.
Because 5 minutes is quite a while if you're
Yeah.
watching something like that.
Yeah. Maybe smelling like feces and urine.
Oh, okay.
So I think that he was deceased at that point, but he may have died before that.
Did he say anything after he fell down?
No.
So he only just said, "You're killing me," when you were fighting with him.
Yeah.
Is that the only thing he said?
Yeah.
Never say anything else?
No.
So after you thought he was dead and you smelled urine and feces,
Yeah.
you stuck around for a while.
I did.
Okay. Why did you stick around?
I don't panic. I don't even know what was going through my mind. I can try to think of it. I don't even know. I was scared. Obviously, I was really scared. I think. Did they hear like a horn blast in the house that night? Do you know?
Who?
The people that were living in the house.
Why do you ask that?
I'm just wondering. I don't know. I don't know.
Where would the horn blast come from?
Like when I was driving away, I honked the horn in his car.
Oh, accidentally?
Yeah, I think accidentally, but maybe.
So you were in his trailer for a little while after it happened.
Yeah.
And I think you said you took his wallet and his ID and did you take anything else out of the trailer? Take some food with you?
Probably some granola bars.
Okay. Anything else? Cup, perhaps?
Not that I remember.
Okay, just some food. Where did you find his car keys at?
In his pocket.
So you dug through his pockets and grabbed his wallet, grabbed his keys. Take any money?
There was some money in his wallet, but I don't know how much. It was like maybe $30 or something, 20, 30, $40.
Okay. Did you take anything out of the wallet and leave it there?
Not that I remember.
Okay. So you eventually left the trailer, and you must have gone back to the shop, correct?
Yeah.
There was some barbecue sauce and pickles and mustard, I think, and a bunch of other like condiments and some meat that it had been taken out of a freezer. It was staged in the shop.
It was what? Sorry.
Like it was staged. It was like set on the floor, like it was put there intending for someone to come back and get it later or something. Do you remember that kind of stuff?
Probably.
Can you picture that?
Yeah, probably.
That must have, assuming that must have come out of the trailer. Do you know?
I don't think so.
Would it have come from the shop?
Yeah.
Where did you find that stuff in the shop?
I don't remember, but I wouldn't have taken.
I'm going to show you a picture of that stuff too, so it might help to recall. This was in the shop.
There might have been a freezer somewhere.
Do you think there was a freezer in the shop? I mean, were you intending to maybe eat that there while you were staying in the shop, or you just don't remember?
I don't remember. I probably did eat some stuff in that shop or something.
Okay.
But I don't remember.
Is it possible that you brought that stuff from the trailer and left it there while you were taking things out of the shop to leave?
I don't think I would have taken it from the camper to the car, to the camper. I mean, to the shop, and then take it out of the car.
It wouldn't make sense,
and
would
put
it?
it into the shop.
Yeah.
No.
It's likely you might have found this in the shop.
In the shop.
Yeah. So you did you back the car over to the shop to load it up, or were you carrying everything from the shop over to the car?
I think I pulled the car over by the door.
And you took some tools, a welder, Dremel
Yeah.
tool, things like that,
Yeah.
and put it in
Car.
the car or in the
Yeah,
trunk?
in the car.
In the
Oh,
passenger.
I'm not sure exactly where I put it. Probably.
Okay. And this.
Both.
Okay. This car this Bob's car that you
Yeah.
took, it was a red car,
Yeah,
and you had mentioned that it was a Chevy Impala.
that's my belief.
Okay, that's your belief. So, it's my belief it was a different kind of a car, but it was red. Okay. And if I showed you a picture of that, you think you'd remember?
Probably.
There's one. There's another.
With the tire.
Not yet.
Thunderbird?
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it.
Let me show you. I'll show you a picture of the inside. Maybe the driver's compartment. Maybe that might spark a memory for you. It looks like it was a manual transmission. This is Bob's car.
I don't remember whether it was manual or automatic.
Okay. But it was definitely a red car.
Yep.
Okay. This is Bob's car that was taken from his property when you left. And you had mentioned on your way south, after you left Bob's house,
Yeah.
after this all had happened, you left Bob's property that night, like within hours after killing him, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And do you remember, I know it's going to be hard for you to recall, but do you remember what time of the day this happened between you and Bob? 'Cause it was summertime, so it was probably light until about 9 o'clock at night.
Then it's hard to estimate because it seems like the clothes that I had on would have been bloody.
Mm-hmm.
So if they weren't bloody, then I don't know if I would have to look at them and see if they're like the ones that I had. Or
Do you remember stopping anywhere on the way to Portland, like at a rest area or anything to clean up, or because you had to have blood all over you?
I cleaned up when I got to to those people's place. They took the bloody clothes and let me take a shower.
Okay. Did you tell them what you'd done?
Not specifically.
You said something about making up a story about something else.
Yeah, that something happened to my sister and I had to take care of it. I thought that would be explanation enough.
Okay.
But I mean, not that they didn't,
You were in Kelso for probably, what, a couple weeks maybe?
Yeah.
So, what did you do for money while you were in Kelso?
I didn't have a job or anything. I had a little bit of money left.
All right.
Sue and Cal supported us with some food and stuff.
That's your cousin and you were staying with them?
My friend.
Or your friend, their cousin, this Randy Davis. Do you remember anybody in Kelso that you would have met and remembered? Anybody first and last name? Can you think of anybody you ran into that really sticks out in your mind, other than those folks? A bar, another house? Were you ever contacted by the police while you were in Kelso?
No.
Do you remember stealing anything while you were in Kelso, other than from Bob?
No.
Damaging any property?
No.
Assaulting anyone else?
No.
Were you engaged in any fights or anything?
Using any what?
Engaged in any fights with anybody?
No.
What did you do for the 2 weeks?
Mostly got high.
Do you remember who you were getting your drugs from? Really not an issue for us now, but it
No.
was. Okay. Were you getting it from Sue and Cal? Did they offer you any?
Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's,
Okay. Yeah, they're not any nobody's in any trouble. I just trying to confirm a few things.
I mean, you've had a couple days to kind of think about this. I mean, obviously 22 years actually, but since you actually came forward and began talking about it, did you think of anything that you didn't tell the detectives the other night that you remember now? In other words, is there anything else that you feel is important that you haven't talked about yet?
No.
Brandon Wright was sentenced to 17 years in prison. Thanks for watching.